Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to Apply. All right, so today I am in Washington, D.C. for the Power Up Conference 2024 with Gloria Felt, who's hosting it. And let me tell you, we got a packed agenda. I'm doing an interview series for the conference. And first off, I'd like to say, Marisa, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
I snagged you for a couple minutes here. First thing first, how did you learn about the conference? Where does this start for you?
I learned from a friend back in Phoenix. And in 2019, I attended my first
Get Out of Here.
Take the Lead conference in the Biltmore in Phoenix. And I met Gloria for the first time.
Wow. Well, and so that was 2019. And have you been kind of part of the community ever since and coming to things or here and there? Or?
Yes, I have. Actually, no, not 2019. Thinking the wrong year. I'm thinking before COVID. It was just after COVID, 2022.
Oh, okay. Wow.
2022.
What's one of the reasons why you originally decided to participate?
It seemed like a great program, very women-centric. I love the mission of achieving gender equality by 2025.
Yeah.
When I read that, I thought, wow, that's aggressive.
Yeah.
Being a Latina, working in tech, where it's still women are still woefully lacking. Latinas in tech are even more so. And I love that mission. And after I attended my first conference, I was really inspired by Gloria and her mission and all the women and the energy and the sisterhood of all these women coming together and elevating each other.
Women in tech, Latina women, like how did you begin in tech? Where'd that start for you?
When I got a old CPM computer from my uncle.
Wow.
Back in...
You were hooked, like, immediately?
Yeah, back in the day.
What hooked you? Like, what fascinated you with it?
Oh, I wanted to know how this machine worked. I wanted to have write the instructions to make it do something. And
really?
I went and got books, and I didn't know what I was doing. I was playing around, and I got it to print.
Whoa.
So that was like a big achievement. And then I took COBOL in high school, played around with the Trash 80.
Yeah.
Played a lot of video games when I was Atari when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I was hooked ever since. I just wanted anything to do with technology, computers, machines. Love it. Love all of it.
Now, at that time, that was, like you said, it's uncommon now, so I can't even imagine back then, women in tech, but Latina women specifically, like, what's your family think? Were everybody else, they're like, what? You want to do what? Was it, how was that? I'm just curious.
Well, my father was a mechanic. My mother was a homemaker. I think being around my father and just cars and
so making it print is equivalent to, like making the car run almost.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And so they were very open. They didn't say anything. They're so
progressive.
Yes.
Very progressive Latino family,
Yeah.
I would argue. I'm thinking of some of my family that'd be like, Adam, you want to do what? No.
Yes.
If they didn't understand, but that's amazing. So they encouraged you to continue. Tell me more about the journey.
So I just stayed in it. I was lucky that my best friend also we were both kind of nerds, and we stuck with it to this day. We're both working, women in tech, Latinas. And, we went through all high school, college, University of Texas, El Paso, and El Chuco, as it's affectionately known. And technology was not a big part of our childhood, so we really had to seek it out. And I feel like that helped me develop this fervor for new things, tech, solving problems. A computer can do things that, people do, like, mailing lists. Back in the day, and just simple tasks. Now we have ChatGPT, so there's AI. I know a lot of people think it's scary, but it's a computer that's following instructions. And I feel like the more women there are, and Latinas and people of color in the technology space, we can have influence. We can have women coders that can find the bias that is generated by all the programming.
What kind of advice would you give to, fast forwarding a bit, like nowadays, from where you started to now, those that are women that want to, Latina or otherwise, like that want to get into the industry, that pursue tech and pursue that passion? What kind of advice would you give them?
Just do it. Just do it. I think that men more often are raised to be bold and try new things and take risks. And Latinos, especially, there's this still the cultural norms of, technology's for boys or for men.
Yeah.
And that's so not true. Women are fantastic coders. They're fantastic working in and around tech. It doesn't have to be the very deep technical skills like coding or art or technical architecture. It can be business analysis or project management, which I did a lot for a lot of my career. Is I did coding early on, and then I got into project management. I stumbled upon the Salesforce community, and that's how I become an entrepreneur and CEO and founder.
Yeah.
And it's been a fantastic journey.
Yeah.
I love it. I love tech. Anything technologically involved is a passion of mine.
Yeah.
And I think that more women can find that same passion. And about Salesforce, by the way, it is a gateway to get into tech that's very accessible. You have free training and a great community of people that are
Really
involved
smart
to
people.
to help you get involved in all different kinds of roles for technology. So bringing more women and people of color to tech.
What was it like making that transition or leaping to that entrepreneurship side of things? Because you're pioneering in many ways. Like, what was it like doing that?
Very scary. Oh my gosh. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what I was doing.
Yeah.
It was not an intentional thing. Unlike Gloria's book, Intentioning, I wish I would have had that book back in 2009. I wish I would have met a lot of the women I've met through this Take the Lead community back then, because I was on my own. A lot of the entrepreneurs I knew were men. Actually, they were all men early on.
Yeah.
It wasn't something I had planned. I was laid off from IBM. It was during the economy crash, 2008, 2009. I just stuck with it. I thought, this is fun. It's great. I get to be the boss. I get to decide what I do. I have small children at the time, 2 small children. My oldest son was just starting college. It was an opportunity for me to earn money and replace my salary, maintain the life that I wanted, that I didn't previously have, because as a woman in tech earlier in my career, taking time off for doctor's appointments or children's activities or just family in general, which has always been very important to me, I didn't have the option. It was one of those environments where if you want to take that time, you can just leave, don't come back, because it was just it was a very strict, stern environment. Not family friendly, especially not woman friendly. A lot of times women went on maternity leave and didn't come back. So being an entrepreneur for me allowed me to basically have it all and really achieve the balance that people talk about, the work-life balance. I like to call it work-life integration.
Ooh, I like that one.
Yes. So, and that's one of the terms that a lot of women in tech use. You integrate systems that are completely different so that they speak with each other and they work in harmony for an organization. Your life can be that way. You can have, working and family and earning money and helping your customers, just being a good business person, a good citizen, well, not corporate citizen, but a business person that also gives back to their community.
Civic, like your civic engagement, like all the other things you're doing. Looking back now, and this is obviously hindsight being 2020, the reason I asked this question, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners that watch this show, but looking back now, is there anything that you would tell the Marisa that was just getting started as an entrepreneur based on what you know now?
Don't be afraid to grow from the beginning.
Wow.
Like set that.
Don't hold yourself back, kind of like
don't hold yourself back. And that is one thing that I did do, because I was so involved with learning about entrepreneurship, taking care of my small children, that the thought of trying to grow and scale a company and a consulting firm at the time, I thought that was something that was out of reach for me, not just from a financial perspective, but the time that it took. And I didn't ask for enough help, and I didn't surround myself with enough women. A lot of the people I encountered and that I networked with back then were men. They all had stay-at-home wives or wives that had more simple job, And so I would joke and say, well, I need a wife, which wasn't fair to my husband, who was very supportive.
I
And
understand.
we started the business together. So it just, we said, well, gosh, how do you, we need like a nanny or somebody, which again, the whole thing, right?
I know, but it's great.
But it was still a great journey. I had the opportunity to learn so much and really become a very engaged community member. I was very active with my kids' PTA, with my local neighborhood, with a community. I grew the local Phoenix Salesforce community from a group of 10, 15 people meeting in a library to well over 2,000.
Wow.
Just in the Phoenix community, so that we had a Women in Tech. I was a founding member of the Women in Tech. It was Girly Geeks back then. Phoenix Developer Group, Phoenix User Group for Salesforce, and just bringing people in and giving them a place to gather and help each other out.
So you're a community builder.
Yes.
By nature, by definition. That's not easy, bringing together that many people over any span of time.
I love parties. That's what I tell people. So it's like I see our monthly user group meetings like it's just a party. We're having fun, talking about nerdy things and Apex code and what new, Lightning features and AI Salesforce what new things are they doing? What problems have you had? And just bringing a little, food or snacks and just
your tribe,
making it a warm, welcoming environment. And I've had a really good time. It's a lot of work, but it's fun too. Because I knew that I needed a community. I love people. I love everybody to have a good time and have fun, which I think everybody should. So
amazing.
It drove me.
Well, Marisa, I want to say thank you for coming on the show today. What I want you to do next is I want you to look into the camera. I want you to tell people how they can follow you, how they can follow your business, how they can follow your journey.
Yes. Hi, Marisa Hambleton again. You can find me. I'm very easy to find online. I am a Salesforce MVP, and I also was just honored with a Trailblazer Award from Take the Lead for this conference.
Yes.
Thank you. So you can Google me, Marisa Hambleton. There's a couple of other Marisa Hambletons, but I am the only one that is Salesforce MVP in the Salesforce community. My website, mh2x.com, in case you need to build some business systems with Salesforce.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And for everybody watching, just so you know, we'll put the links to the website in the show notes so that you can just click on it and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't hit the subscribe or the follow button yet, make sure you hit that subscribe or follow, because this is a daily show. Each and every day we're bringing you new content, new leaders, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button and so you get that notification tomorrow. And Marisa, thank you again. It's been such a pleasure having you on. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you. Thank you.